Hey Sunshine! I'm Cady, and today on Dark Sunlight, I've got my August bullet journal set up for you. And if you've got a keen eye, you might have noticed something a little bit different about that intro. I have in fact moved to a new bullet journal for the second half of the year. And don't worry, I'll definitely have a video coming out soon about how I set that up. This month's theme is pulling its inspiration from our lovely Leos. I had a hard time deciding on a quote for this month, so I asked my best friend, who happens to be a Leo, and without hesitation, she offered this gem. Have courage and be kind. Simple and to the point. Leo's colors, just as you'd expect for a sign represented by lions, are gold and orange, so you'll see a lot of those throughout these spreads. As this is our last real month of summer where I am, I wanted to lean into some really summery themes with hibiscus flowers and Monstera leaves. I forgot to record the first bit of the inking here, but all I did was loosely trace around the title because I liked how the letters turned out. I didn't want to completely lose my pencil sketch when I eventually fill the circle in with black. So I just left a tiny white area so I'd know where to add the gold pen at the end. When adding colors with Tombow markers, you may find that they lay down a bit streaky, especially if your marker has been well loved and used for a little while. You can fix this usually by going over areas of flat color a few times, but I only recommend this if you have thick paper that can withstand a lot of ink. What I realized by about the fourth petal of this flower is that for hibiscus flowers in particular, I could use the streaks to my advantage if I followed the shape of the petals, working from the center of the flower to the outer edge to add that almost crepey texture that the petals have. I wanted to show you that hibiscus can be a really fun and forgiving floral to draw. If you start with a circle and divide it into 5 petals, all you'll need to do is trace a very wiggly line around each of those petal edges. You can make some petals appear folded by adding extra little wiggly lines just inside the edges. The center of the flower can be added by drawing 2 thin lines next to each other, then add some little bean shapes at the top of it, and add a handful of little circles underneath those beans. For the leaves, you can start with a generic lemon shape and then add a little scalloped edge. Monstera leaves are also a very cute botanical element that's pretty easy to draw. If you start with a nice big rounded leaf shape, you'll just want to draw long curved bites out of the edges and random holes in the center area. Now you can see how it all comes together as I trace it with the pen. I want to take a second to thank my newest patrons, Pink, Abby, Rusa, and Cassandra. Welcome to the team. I'm super grateful for your support. If you want to see your name in the credits of every video, come join the team over on Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description below. For my habits and mood spread this month, I finally decided to go back to tracking my sleep and steps. So for this month, I'll be tracking journaling, yoga, water, Instagram posts, and YouTube videos for my habits. Underneath that, I'll be tracking both the amount and the quality of my sleep. And the last space will be to track my daily step count. At the bottom of the page, I'll be coloring in one leaf on the vine to track my mood for each day, green being a positive mood and dark orange being a negative mood. The last thing I added to this page was the light green color around the border. I wanted to add something else to it, but I wasn't sure what yet, so I just moved on to the next spread, which is the productivity level board. I'll be setting this one up the same way as I always do, with slight adjustments to the items I'm tracking. If you want a more detailed description of how to use this spread, I explained it in my May bullet journal setup. At the top of the spread, I added that light green again and decided to use my beloved plastic sandwich bag technique to add texture to it using the darker green. I didn't record it, but I also went and added the same texture to the border on the habits page as well. The next spread is super simple. It's just a place to write down any of my favorite things or memories from the month. And lastly, I'll set up my first weekly spread of the month. And after a few finishing touches, here's the flip through of how it all turned out. As always, I'll have a full printable version of this setup as well as phone and desktop backgrounds for my patrons, so be sure to check out the link in the description if you want to grab those for yourself. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.